And it's been about 3 months since the last tutorial, so I'm going to go ahead and just kind of start continuing it again. Hopefully I am more consistent. But in this video we're going to be adding an inventory to our character. Now this is going to be, we're going to try to make this system a little bit more universal. So we're going to have our inventory class, and let's say this over here is a crate. If I can see my mouse, there it is. So think of this as a crate. We can simply add the inventory class to the crate and access it, and we have a chest that holds items. And if we want to apply it to our character, we just add it to our character, and we then have an inventory on our character that can hold items. Just very universal. So we're going to be switching up. So currently, I'll just show you. When we spawn, you press E, and you pick up each thing, and it automatically gets used. It doesn't get stored in any way or form. It's just automatic use. We're going to switch that up so it gets stored in our inventory, and then later on we're going to make a GUI that we can actually click on the items in our inventory and choose to use them. So we can go ahead and get started. Also, a random note, you'll see I have a weapons folder. Just ignore that, that's for the future, and it's just the import of the first-person shooter example. So let's go ahead and create our class here. Let's see what type. Actor component. Just name it inventory. And yep, that's spelled right. And create. Alrighty, here's our class. We can go ahead and get rid of our on tick and disable that up here. Now, let's see. Here's our pickups. So this is our health, hunger, and thirst crap. Pretty much we're going to be having this function here. We're going to be leaving it since we already have it set up. So when we click on our GUI, well, we are going to have to alter it a little bit to make sure we actually do in fact have the item in our inventory. But let's just say we do. So we click on, let's say, a water bottle in our inventory, in our GUI. Then we click use. This function is going to get called. It's going to be set to run on the server, since everything GUI related is going to be done on the client. So we're going to have to go from the client to the server. Server's going to check, make sure we have the item. If we do, we use it. Simple as that. And then once it's used, since our inventory is replicated, that item is going to be taken out of the array. So we no longer have access to it on the client. And then just to confirm that the client, we have used it, we're going to have to make some sort of way to kind of refresh our GUI so we can see that the item is no longer there. So let's go ahead and get started here. So one thing, since I said we're going to have to replicate it, we're going to include net Unreal Network, and we need our do-rep life or whatever crap. So I'm just going to copy and paste. That's why it's there. Alright, so now let's go ahead and create, under our protected, we're going to make a new section. Now this is going to be our replicated T array. So U property, replicated, then, so T array, we need to forward declare, should be an actor. Yep, so A pickup, and let's just call this items. Okay, so now we should have our items being replicated. And what'd I miss? network. What am I missing here? 23. Unless it's a different macro. No. And I'm an idiot. Missing where? Line 28, there is no 28. That should be linking up to, which it does. Unless that's not supposed to be. No. Alright, I know I'm missing something really stupid here. Oh, I'm an idiot. Anyways, so now our T array is not going to be replicated. Sorry about that. It's also been quite a while since I've actually done anything. So now we're going to have to simply make a function to add to our array. So we're going to make a public section to call it. Void add item class a pickups item. And let's just go ahead and make one for removing as well. And so we can make this return a bool. So if, because we're going to have a, well, this is kind of optional, but a way to, so let's say we have our inventory has a weight. So we have pockets on our character. We cannot carry, 150 pounds in our pockets continuously. So we would have a limit here. So we're going to make our items have a weight to them, and that weight's going to get transferred into this array. So let's say we have 2 items of 10 pounds each. We would currently be carrying 20 pounds in our inventory. So let's say we have a 20-pound limit. Let's say we try to pick up another item that weighs 5 pounds. Well, that would exceed our 20-pound limit. So we could do our check and add item, and if we cannot pick it up because we would be overloaded, we would return false. Otherwise, we would return true. That way, if we want to do something in the future with this, we can do it very easily. Then call our remove item. Create our definitions. They are up there. Okay. So this is simply going to be just items.add item for now. And actually, I'm going to need that. So we're going to need to find the item that we're passing in a remove item. But let's go ahead and set up add item first. And we can actually go ahead and print out a log of everything. So for let me include pickups actually real quick before I forget. Pickups.h. So for a pickups, pickup, and items. That was a UE log, log temp, warning, text, item. We need to get a name. So pickup, name, get name, and that should do it. Alright, so we're going to pretty much, when we press E, we're going to call this here. Now we are going to have to, so this is going to be currently running on the client, so we're going to have to alter this so it runs on the server strictly, just like we do with our actual pickups, but that's handled in our character class. Keep in mind, I haven't looked at any of this in the 3 months, so I'm kind of trying to remember everything we've set up. Wherever interact, here it is. Alright, so call server interact, and that does the same checkup. So then we can see pickup, and it goes to call use item. So instead, we have our pickup here. We're going to access our inventory and call add item. So yeah, we don't need to do anything on this specifically. We can actually set this up to just be replicated with our we'll do that later. Okay, so let's go ahead and add an inventory class to ourselves. Don't I have a section where I add all the classes? Here. Class u inventory. So let's go ahead and include this at the top of our CPP. Go down here. Actually, create the object real quick. So you inventory and inventory component. Scroll down to our server interact. Here, we're going to do inventory, add item, this. What now? Okay, we're in this little block, so this should, I really thought that would have been pickup. Anyways, there, let's go ahead and vote real quick. See what I screwed up. Red line. Derp. And build again. Alright. So let's go ahead and see if they get added, and it should print it out. Alright, so we have that item, so it's just 1 health. Now we should have 2 printed out. And our water. Yeah, you can see, wait, is that getting detected? Yeah. So item is BP, health, and our food can. Did the water get picked up? Okay, yeah, it did. Oh, duh, that's why I was hitting the... Anyways. Where are we printing it out? Hit actor, let's just comment that out so we're not seeing it. Leave you. Alright, so now our inventory, our array here is replicated, so when we press E on the client, we send a ray trace out of our eyes on the client, And if we do in fact hit something, for example, a pickup, we are going to call that to run on the server. So this is running on the server. Then we're going to do the exact same line trace on the server to make sure that we actually are hitting the item. Make it, can't really cheat it. Then we in fact did hit a pickup. We access our inventory and we add the item that we hit. So each time we press E on an item, it gets added to our array of pickups, or our array of items. Now let's actually go ahead and set it up. We can pretty much just copy and paste this. Let's see, that's our player stack component. We're pretty much going to do the exact same thing. Don't know why I opened the header. Pretty sure it will be in here. Or not. What did I do to it? So I press E on it, we add it to our, well, we use the item. Oh, duh, I just called destroy. Alright, so we don't, yeah, we don't necessarily want to destroy the item. I almost think it would be better just to hide it and make it invisible and with no collisions. So that way it's always existent in the world, and then instead of recreating it, let's say when our player dies, we drop all of our inventory items instead of recreating each item. Since we do have just strictly a pointer to all the items, we instead just transfer the items over to our character and find a random spot within X distance around our character to literally move and show the items from. So they go from hidden and no collision to visible with collision. So in inventory, add item. So we're going to go item. We need to get mesh, and I need to include that. Components. No, they're static meshes. It's not getting the mesh. Alright, what was it? Let's just go through our static mesh component functions. Alright, so there's no get mesh, that's why. So like, what was it to hide a static mesh? So we're going to go ahead and just disable the collision real quick first. Set actor enable collision. False. Then we do need to hide it. But I want to go ahead and make sure that actually disables the collision real quick. I'm trying to think of what it was. So yeah, we have collision. We use it. Unless we have to multicast, that we're disabling collision. I thought that would be networked. Alright, so that's in the actor. Alright, so that just disables it for the entire actor. Alright, so it's set actor hidden in game. Set actor hidden in game, set that to true. So it is in fact hidden. Now we may have to set up a function, since we're already on the server, to strictly multicast getting rid of the collision. That way it would get rid of that little, crap, what would you call that? Kind of like freak out when we walked into it. Because as you can see, it's kind of, it's like it thinks there's collision there. So let's go ahead and test that dedicated real quick. And these are going to the wrong thing. I forgot because I updated to, yeah, it's 0.23. Whoops. Ah, crap. Wrong thing. Alrighty. So, press it. Yeah, so still same thing even in dedicated. So we're going to multicast that. So let's go ahead and make a new function here. Actually, I can just use this section. So void, no, u function net multicast. Reliable with validation. Let's see, call it multi underscore, what would we name it? Picked up item. Yeah, good enough. And we're just going to pass in that item. So class A pickups item. Now we need one of these for validate, which is a boolean, and then our implementation. So validate implementation. I think that's right. Create our definitions of both the validate and implementation. You can do that, by the way, quickly by pressing Alt and Enter. And here they are. Place those right below add item. Make it return true. And simply copy this, paste it in the implementation, and call multi picked up item, and pass in our item. So let's go ahead and build it, and it should be good. Actually, we can just do that on the server. Alright, as you can see, real smooth. This one here still has collision, so press E, and we walk right through. So I'm actually going to go ahead and move the set actor hidden, since that really it just needs to be done on the server, not actually multicasted. So what the issue was, while the server had it set to no collision, the client still thought there was collision. So on the server's end, as we were walking forward through it after we picked it up, we were just walking right through it. But on the client, we felt like there was something there, so it was kind of stopping us. But since the server has authority, it just kind of allowed us to walk right through. So this says one more time in dedicated. Yeah. There it goes. Hopefully. gonna have an issue again? I'm gonna go with yes. Unless the server, no. Ah, that's why the server never actually launched. There we go. So, we have collision. Pick it up, walk right through as if it's not there. And we should have a log on our server. That is not the server, this is. Alright, so we can print it out. We have our item here, item here, item here. Alright, why does it have multiple? Oh, duh, there's no break in the line, so it's just continually showing. Here, I'll use this as a break. Alright, so after the bottle, you have the water. We have everything below it. So, yeah. We now have a basic inventory setup. I'm going to go ahead and reiterate through it. So, on our character, when we press E to, let's say we press E, we send a ray trace out of our eyes on a client. If we did in fact hit something on the client, then we're going to call the function to run again, but on the server. So in our server interact, we do the exact same thing. We just make sure we're the authority, and we go through, make array. If the server detected that we hit something, so we go from our character again to right in front of us where we're looking. If the server detects that we hit something, we check if it was a pickup, and if it was, we're going to access our inventory class and call our add item function while passing in the item that we hit, being our pickup, like our health, food, water. So then on our inventory add item, we go ahead and we have a replicated array of items that contain the class of our pickup class. Then we want to hide the item. We're going to multicast that the item was picked up, which simply disables the collision for the item. So that way, after you pick it up, we can just walk right through it as if it's not even there, even though it still exists. And then just for the sake of looking through everything, we're going to print out a log. So I want to actually print out an empty log real quick. Just call it end of items. So that way we can kind of have like a little break. So after end of items, we know there are, well, it's everything that we have that we've picked up. So we can just see that clearly here. So we have our health. Make sure it grabbed all the items, not duplicating anything. So we have our 3 or 4 medkits, then our water and our food. So yeah, that's everything. We're going to be expanding on this in the future. I don't know if this is going to be in the next video or not. But yeah, that'll be the end.